What if the invisible wounds we carry were suddenly made visible? What if every heartbreak, every fear, every quiet struggle left a physical mark? This is the story of Leo, a man who felt like a ghost in his own life, surrounded by people he saw as perfect, whole, and unbreakable. One Tuesday morning, the world shimmered. For a split second, a blinding light, and then everything was different. He saw the cheerful barista hand him his coffee and noticed a tiny hairline crack on her wrist. The laughing couple walking past him had faint fractures across their smiling faces. His boss, a man of iron and confidence, had a deep, dark fissure running down his back, hidden by his suit jacket. Leo was stunned. Then a strange sense of power washed over him. He could see their secrets. He could see their damage. At first, it was a game. He used his new sight like a shield. He'd steer clear of people with too many cracks, labeling them too broken or too much drama. He sought out those who appeared flawless, believing their perfection would somehow rub off on him, that their whole, unbroken lives were the key to his own happiness. He even used it as a weapon once, in an argument with a friend, cruelly pointing out a flaw he could see that no one else could. He won the argument, but the look of shock and pain on his friend's face made him feel more alone than ever. His world had become a museum of broken things, and he was the lonely curator. One weekend, he went to visit his mother. She was the one person he always saw as pure light, a woman whose smile never faltered. But when she opened the door, his breath caught in his throat. She was covered in a delicate, intricate web of silvery cracks, more than anyone he had ever seen. But they didn't look like damage. They shimmered. He sat with her, his heart aching, and finally asked, "Mom, have you always been happy?" She looked at him, her eyes full of a wisdom he'd never noticed before. She smiled softly and said, "Oh, my dear Leo, happiness isn't the absence of cracks. It's the love that seeps in to fill them." And in that moment, everything changed. The twist wasn't that he could see their pain. The twist was that he had been seeing it all wrong. The cracks weren't signs of weakness. They were maps of a life lived. Each line was a battle survived, a lesson learned, a heart broken and mended. He wasn't seeing damage. He was seeing their stories. He was seeing the beautiful, messy, undeniable proof that they had lived and loved and felt deeply. By avoiding their cracks, he had been avoiding their humanity. He started over. He saw the barista's cracked wrist and didn't shy away. He asked her how her day was and truly listened. He saw his boss's fractured back and offered to help with the project, easing a burden no one else could see. He started moving towards the cracks, not away from them. He found that in those spaces, he found connection, he found empathy, he found grace. He started to feel the faint etchings of his own past pains, not as flaws, but as part of his own story. He never learned to see his own cracks in the mirror, but he no longer needed to. He understood that we are all a little broken, and that's what makes us beautiful. We spend so much of our lives trying to hide our imperfections, to appear whole and strong. But what if our cracks are what let the light in?